Talkie. Wow. So that whole time, no audio. God damn it. So fast forward to right about now. Basically just wanted to make a video for you guys. Wow, that was fucking stupid. God damn it. Want to make a video for you guys going over everything that we missed in the first thing. So if you guys are new to the channel, go check out number 1. Number 2 is this. So we're going to go over Packbound Zealots and the data sheets, what I've been running, what we've been practicing. I got the codex yesterday, but we already knew everything that was already in the codex. So nothing really crazy about it. You guys have already been practicing all of this. You've seen all the videos online. Like, there's so many people running Chaos Space Marines right now. So nothing really new that's going to be crazy in this video. It's mainly just going to be what I've been practicing, what I've been liking, and the data sheets that are really different from before. So we didn't go over the Packbound Zealots. If you guys haven't seen that yet, go check out the first video on the channel. It's another live video. But this one, Packbound Zealots, if you've been playing Chaos Space Marines, it's basically the same thing we've been playing for a year and a half. All the marks stay exactly the same, so you crit on 5s, full rerolls with Abaddon, Hellbrute. Like, it's still a really good combo. If you guys are coming into Chaos Space Marines, this is like the pick-me-up detachment. Everybody's kind of skipping over it because they know it's good. Like, they know if they ran this detachment, it's going to be good. Did anything get... So, no full rerolls to hit and wound, I think. I mean, it's only to wound right here. And the biggest difference is Abaddon can't give buffs to damned models, which would have been great to still run the same list that I've been running for the past couple years. But Abaddon can't buff a Cursed Cultist, and the Crown went away, so the Crown not giving 4-up invuln saves to everybody within 9 inches was huge. So, I mean, this detachment with these are still going to be good, and I don't know if it excludes damned. We'll get into that later. So first off, we got the Mark of Chaos. You got all the marks still exactly the same. Khorne crits on 5s, Tzeentch shooting on 5s, Undivided, reroll hits of 1, and then Sustain is Nurgle, Slaanesh, and Undivided hits of 1. Yeah, so it's basically the same thing. That's about it. So then the Detachment Talisman Burning Blood stays exactly the same, which is still really good, especially on a Demon Prince. My Demon Prince list is the same thing. So it's Packbound Zealots with 3 Walking Demon Princes, 3 Flying Demon Princes. I think I have Abaddon in that detachment with 10 Chosen. So it's just a bunch of heavy, hard-hitting models just running across the table. I have Tzeentch changed, so now it's on an 8. You gain 1 CP. The Orb of Unlife, I think it was within 6 inches. I can't remember, but at the end of the fight phase, so after you pile in and consolidate, every model within 3 inches, adding 1 to the result of the bearer's units, made a Dark Pact that phase and did not fail the resulting leadership test of 4+. So on a 3+, if you Dark Pacted, you'll be able to do the Orbs of Unlife, everything within 6 inches. I'm sorry, 3 inches. Intoxicating Elixir is still one of the best ones. 5-up Feel No Pain for a Slaanesh model. So with the the Demon Prince, having a Slaanesh Flying Demon Prince with the 5-up Feel No Pain, and every time you take a Dark Pact, you have to take a Battle Shock. But that's just a little bonus. Then the stratagems. Eye of the Gods, character model, add 1 to the. So this is cool. Obviously, it doesn't work on epic characters, but you get to add 1 to the move, toughness, and wound characteristic of that character, and add 1 to the attack, strength, and damage characteristic of characters. Wow, that's really good. But it only for character models, not including demons, so no demon princes, damned, and epic heroes. So specifically, if you had like a really boss lord, you can spend 1 CP and you get the Eye of the Gods, Eternal Hate. The Khorne model, Fight on Death. So if you're Khorne, you get it on a 3+. Everybody else gets it on a 4+, for 1 CP. Profane Zeal, same thing. They took away for the full rerolls to hit. Now it's just full rerolls to wound. So that didn't really change. Skin Shift. So in Tzeentch, you regain up to 3 lost wounds. In addition, if you're in a Tzeentch, you can bring 1 back. So it's still really good for Oblitz, even though Oblitz kind of got a little bit of a nerf. But also you can't bring Abaddon's unit back because he's only undivided now. So if Abaddon wanted to do Profane Zeal, he'll get full rerolls to hit with himself, and then 1 CP will get full rerolls to wound. He can't join Legionnaires anymore, so he lost that ability, but at least with the Chosen he'll be able to advance and charge for free. Advance, shoot, and charge for free. Then this one, the Slaanesh, you can advance and charge. You can spend 1 CP to shoot and charge when you fall back, but Chosen automatically have that built in already, so still good. Then Festering Miasma, your opponent's shooting phase. It's the Nurgle build. So literally everything stays exactly the same. It's nothing really different. If you're going to be running this, it's basically the same list you've been building. A lot of the stuff has changed on the datasheet side of it, but not the enhancements and stuff like that. So let's get into the changes. Abaddon changed significantly, not being able to buff up Damned at all. So excluding Damned, everybody within 6 inches gets to reroll the hit rolls. So that's the vehicles as well. And then this one is only infantry, and mounted gets a 4-up invuln save, excluding Damned as well. Then this one is just the reroll battle shocks and leaderships. Nobody cares about that one. In your command phase, select one, so that's that. And then right here, each time a model makes a Dark Pact and does not fail the resulting leadership test, if the result of the test is 7+, you gain a CP. So that was the big difference. You don't have to roll 2+ anymore. Like, do the Dark Pact and then try and roll 2+. It's like a double roll trying to fail it, and we always roll ones. So we would fail that Dark Pact and not get a CP. But at least you get multiple chances to do it. You get one in the basically the shooting phase, you get one in the charge phase, and then the opponent's turn, you still get to do it. Like, there's a lot of chances you'll be able to get that CP once per turn. All of his stats stay exactly the same. Having a 4 Obsect Abaddon is legit. Cool. Then we got Harkon. Harkon changed a lot because of his aura. Not his aura, this one. So on the charge, you roll d6 for each model in the model's unit that is within engagement range. Before, it was just if you made that charge, you roll d6 for how many models in that unit takes a mortal wound. Now he got nerfed where they have to be in engagement range. So he doesn't have any grenades, which the Raptors don't either. So the only way to get grenades is to add the Jump Back Lord, who has grenades, to try and do some extra mortal wounds. I was hoping if he had grenades, then he could grenade a vehicle, charge the vehicle, blow the vehicle up with more mortal wounds, and then charge the guys inside with your unit. But it doesn't work out that way, so I think Harkon is going to be sitting on the shelf again, unless you really want to try it in Night Lords. But it specifically says this ability cannot use a unit to do 2 battle shock tests in the same phase. So Night Lords already make you do a battle shock test. He's going to do another one, but it says you can't, so it's null and void. So Harkon, I think, is out again, which kind of sucks because he's a cool model. Vashtorr picked it up a lot. So what people didn't get, Vashtorr got. Vashtorr is now going to be in a lot of different lists. You're going to have to figure out how to get around killing him because your vehicles and units are going to have hazardous within 18 inches of him. I was watching a video the other day where if, let's say you have a Gladius tank from Space Marines that shoot the big-ass cannon at Vashtorr, and then all the little shots are going after the chaff around him, like the Nurglings, all that stuff. All of the weapons gain hazardous. So he's going to shoot the big gun at you, which is hazardous, and then like the combi weapon, the bolter, the heavy bolter, the assault cannon, all those guns are all hazardous. So they're rolling 1 dice for each gun that they're shooting, and if they roll a 1 for the hazardous check, their own vehicle's taking 3 mortal wounds every single time. So they're going to be doing their own mortal wounds a lot to the people. And again, with the units, their weapons are gaining hazardous. So if I'm shooting like an entire squad of paladins at Vashtorr, I'm gonna have to roll 1 dice for each gun that I'm using, which is like 10 shots, 10 guns. Every one, they just die. So it's very scary running into Vashtorr now. You have to kind of like go at him in melee, which he wants to be in melee because he's got a 2-up, 4-up, toughness 10, 14 wounds, like speed 12. He's going to be a beat stick on the tabletop. Like this guy, I just bought one. My boy Nolan got me one, so I have to go pick it up and put it together and have probably Mike paint them for me. Super centerpiece model, like gonna look amazing. But He's got anti-vehicle 4+ turret, D6 shots, strength 5, AP2, 1 damage. And then the melee weapons, anti-vehicle 4+, but strength 14. So he's going to be winning most vehicles on 3s, but any 4+s are just doing dev. AP2, 3 damage each. So 6 attacks. I think only the vehicles get +2 in his detachment, so he's not going to get 8 attacks. It's only 6 attacks. He can't tank shock. He's not a vehicle. So I'm just thinking when he charges in, is there anything else he could do? Probably not. So 6 attacks, hitting on 2s, strike 14, winning on 3s most of the time, 3 damage, devastating. Was like, that is legit. The sweep attack, 14 attacks, strength 8, AP 0, kind of stinks. Most of the time you're doing this big ass attack. So part of the Escalation League was looking for a reason to build Vashtorr, and this is exactly the reason. Just Hazardous is going to be hilarious, just killing models around, and 18 inches is really far. Like, it works with out of line of sight as well, because if somebody's shooting you 18 inches away that have out of line of sight shooting, their weapons become hazardous. Each time in a unit with an 18 inch targets this model until the end of the phase, that enemy unit's ranged weapons, so literally just one out of line of sight shooting has to target him, and then the entire unit has hazardous. That is insane. The other benefit of him is basically bringing the Vashtorr list where all your demon engines are going to get +1 to strength characteristic of their guns. So you have melted guns going in at strength 10, +1 to wound with Vashtorr. So you're wounding vehicle toughness 10 vehicles, the rhinos, all those stuff, on 3s with meltas. Like, that is sexy. So Vashtorr, guys, I think is going to be really good. Cypher literally just got him picking it up. I was so excited for him because I read his role and it said, each time an opponent targets a unit from their army with a stratagem within 12 inches of this model, increase the cost of that stratagem by 1. Then last Monday, all my guys are telling me like it only works for battle tactics, and that just crushed my dreams. Cypher was in every list of mine. He's just such a cool lore, awesome model that when it only works on battle tactics, it was brutal. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be insane. Like 1 CP. I mean, I'm still gonna try him because you have armor contempt. I mean, I was thinking going against greyknights, like they can't mist away for 1 CP. It all has to be 2 CP, but it's not a battle tactic. Like it's just so situational. So maybe just using him as a 90-point secondary unit to like kind of sit in the middle and just hopefully not get shot at. He's still low up, so I mean he's still okay. And if anybody shoots him or somebody within 3 inches of him, he can shoot back. So he's going to kill some infantry. Nothing crazy against tanks. And now he's got his melee weapons as his pistols as well. So his melee is actually good. He used to be able to fall back and shoot. Can't do that anymore. Yeah, so he can't do that anymore. He basically just has his pistols in combat. So, not bad. Then we got Fabius Bile. Biggest thing about Fabius Bile, you can join a cursed cultist units. So not only chosen cultist mob, legionnaires, but a cursed cultist. So the thing you're trading with Bile is the 5-up field, or the 5-up invuln save. So if you're going to use Fabius Bile, you can have him like rapid ingress with a unit, kind of come in and just be close, because they're going to lose out on the advance and charge, the +1 to hit, +1 to wound with Dark Commune, and the 5-up invuln save, plus 5 bodies. He's only 1 body and his little guy. So he can get back up on a 2+. That's also a huge benefit. He can negate 1 damage to 0. So if you have like a big 3 damage shot coming in, he's just going to negate it to 0. And making them strength and toughness 5. So strength 5, toughness 6 on the big guys, toughness 5 on the little guys. So he's situational. I did try him with the triple curse cultist build. 2 of them had dark communes. 1 of them had Fabius Bile. He was kind of like the second wave, third wave going in, because if he does get focus fire, he's going to lose a lot of his units. So he's cool. Love the model. Got him painted up recently. Just really competing against the curse cultist unit. So Dark Commune, I'm sorry. So Chaos Lord stayed almost exactly the same. Nothing really changed. I think his points, 90 or 95 points, either went down 5 or the same points, but nothing really changed on him. You can actually do, I don't know if this was different, but you can do the Power Fist and Demon Hammer, so that way the Power Fist still hits on 2s if you're going against like normal infantry. And then if you need that 3 damage, you have the 3 damage Demon Hammer once per game. Actually, I can guess you can get the Power Fist Demon Hammer once per game too. Yeah, so you have an option of hitting on 3s with the Demon Hammer, devastating wounds, or just the Power Fist hitting on 2s. So if you're going to be running your Chaos Lord, you got the Power Fist, Demon Hammer, good combo. You might not always need the plasma, like you're probably going to shoot it once or twice a game, but having that option of either hitting on 2s with the Power Fist, full rerolls with a lot of detachments, or using the Demon Hammer for the devastating wounds. So that's cool. And then we got the Chaos Lord. Nothing really changed about him. He's almost exactly the same. Battle tactic and have the damage characteristic. That's about it. The Jump Pack Lord. So this guy's new to all the Chaos Codexes. We have, I think he's 90 points. So he's like the same price as the Lord. And I actually want to customize mine out of the Raptors kit. So I don't know if they're going to sell the solo kit anytime soon, but I have so many fucking Raptors kits. Like I just bought so many for the Havocs and the Raptors and the War Talons that I have so many. I just want to custom, because there's so many good bits in that kit. I want to customize the Raptor kit to make Chaos Lord and just look super badass. But Chaos Lord is a 3-up, 4-up, which is awesome. 12. It's basically the Raptor profile. 5 wounds. He's got the free battle tactic, which is huge because there's so many good battle tactics in Chaos, like a ton. So he's going to be able to join the Raptor unit, use a free stratagem battle tactic, and then he's able to consolidate and pile in 6 inches. There's a bunch of different stuff you can do for this. So if you charge in, blow up a vehicle in the charge in, let's say with another unit. So you charge 2 units into the Rhino. You blow up the Rhino. Then sometimes when they put the guys on the other side of the Rhino, you're too far to get into combat. Well, now with these guys, they're able to pile in 6 inches to try and get into combat and attack the guys that were in the Rhino. So that's a huge advantage, wrapping more and also consolidating away. So now that you can pile in and consolidate 6 inches, you have to be 6 inches away from an objective instead of 3. So let's say you charge in on the other side of a wall, you're off an objective now, you kill whatever you're targeting. Now you can literally pile in 6 inches back behind a wall onto the objective. Like that's a huge pile in for a jump pack infantry unit. So now they're not getting shot back, and then next turn they can just hop out 12 inches and go do something else. So that is a really, really cool tactic. If you bring this guy in the Alpha Legion, you can give him that ability to use the Walking Lords thing, so he still gets the once per game, and then he just goes Super Saiyan once per game with this ability. So you can switch his thing. Instead of consolidating 6 inches, he just goes Super Saiyan with his 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, strength 9, AP 3, 3 damage for his Power Fist. So I guess you can go Super Saiyan and just run Twin Lightning Claws. Dude, that would be insane. So you have 7 attacks, hitting on 2s, strength 6, AP 3, 2 damage. Twin Lengths. Yeah, who knows? I mean, that seems pretty cool. Then we got Horon. Horon didn't change. I was hoping they would kind of help out Horon. I wanted Horon to have the redeploy after you know who goes first. That is such a bullshit tactic. A lot of armies have that tactic. So when people have that tactic, I'm like, are you sure? Like, can you read that again for me? Like, I just want to make sure, because we don't have it. Like, we have right when you determine after the deployment, you can then select up to 3 Heretic Astartes infantry units and redeploy them before you know who goes first, which sucks. But he's going to be an auto include with the Alpha Legion, kind of starting your entire army, infiltrating and then backing up 3 of the units. So one of the Alpha Legion units, you have the 20 Cultist blob with the Dark Commune, so it's an extra 5 models, plus they have 5 up invuln save. You basically spread them out throughout the entire board edge to stop their infiltrators. And then before you go first, you redeploy them where you want, let's say on the line or a little bit further, but in safety. And then since they're with the Dark Commune, they can advance up and charge turn 1 and just block out most of their deployment zone. It's great against orcs, great against Votann, great against all these people that want to get as far forward as possible on turn 1. So Horon's going to be almost in every single Alpha Legion list. Hopefully I see that. I made a custom Horon model almost exactly like that. And I just want to play him. Like, he's just such a cool model. Then we got the Sorcerer. who cares? Nobody runs the sorcerer. Just not good. Cool model, awesome idea, just not cool. This guy's cool. So he's got the, you can reroll the advance and charge rolls still, and then same thing on a 2+. Everybody that targets that unit gets +1 to the AP. Great into a lot of different combos. Great into the Raiders combo. So the Raiders have everything is +1 AP on objectives. So if you combine this guy anywhere in the list, it's +2 AP essentially against that unit. So having this guy like a solo by himself, or with a unit of Terminators, kind of like dropping down and just getting full rerolls to hit, and then +2 AP on models on an objective, that seems legit. So that's going to be a really good combo. And if you use this guy in the Alpha Legion, you can switch out the battle tactics or his card for this card. So at the start of the shooting phase, one psyker unit from your army with this ability. So like basically you're able to do it. There's a lot of stuff you can't do with that enhancement, but with this enhancement you can basically cast it, because he turns into a psyker. You cast it on your lord. Like it's gonna be, so my list, I have one of these guys solo just so I can steal this guy's card. And I guess, I don't know if you get the war gear abilities. It might just be regular abilities. I'm not sure if you get the war gear abilities. Change the damage characteristic to a 0. So that's pretty cool too. All right, then we got the Disco. I wish he was better. He's not bad. He's not good. So somebody was talking about it, putting him in the Raider. The Raiders is honestly the best detachment, guys. Like the Raiders detachment is going to be the #1 Chaos Space Marine detachment. But all in all, he's a mounted. So that one stratagem where you can spend 1 CP and just run away after the fight phase is going to be clutch. Especially if like it's their turn, you then fight, and let's say you don't kill it, you spend 1 CP and you can run away. I think that's how it's worded. But at the end of the fight phase, spend 1 CP, run away 10 inches because he's speed 10, and then you can go off and go do something else. And then in the Raiders detachment, you can advance and shoot. So you can advance and shoot your flamer 12 inches, and then it's +1 AP on models on objective. So basically you're shooting 12 inches while advancing, D6 +3 shots, AP 2 damage. Like that's a really good flamer. You got the magma cutters if you want to run those. Usually you can bring bladed limbs, like all these extra attacks. They're all 2 damage. Anti-vehicle 2+ on this one. Only 1 attack though. And then the lance on the main one. So 4 attacks, strength 6, wounding vehicles on 5s, 4s, AP 2, AP 3 on objective, 2 damage. So I'm thinking maybe testing him out in Night Lords. I don't know if my Night Lords build has one of these guys. I might have tested him out. Let me see. So the Night Lords, at the start of the shooting phase, select one enemy vehicle within 12 inches of this model until the end of the phase. Each time a friendly heretic Astartes model makes an attack, reroll the wound roll 1. All right, so that's cool. And then this one, once per turn at the start of your opponent's shooting phase, so they can back up out of 12 inches to shoot you. But if you're like in the fray and like within 12 of a lot of vehicles, and visible to one or more of your models from your army with this ability, that unit must take a leadership test. So now they're -2 to their leadership test if they're within Raptors and Night Lords. So -2 to the test. If the test at the end of the phase, each time a model in the unit makes an attack, subtract 1 from the hit roll. If the test is failed, you can't shoot. So maybe you're a little bit more protected with Night Lords. But again, you have to be within 12 inches so they can just back up and then shoot you. So that we got to test out to see if that's even viable. But if he's in combat with another vehicle, the vehicle has to take it. He's then -1 to his attack if he's within 6 inches of a raptor. It's +2. So you got to test it out. But yeah, nothing crazy. I just think in Raiders he's going to be really good to test out, and then in Night Lords it's just additional battle shock thing that they can't shoot. So let's say you run up to a Titanic, vehicle, and now that fucking vehicle can't shoot for the entire turn. That's pretty funny. So that could be good, honestly. Massive Possession did us wrong, so they got rid of his 6-up Feeling of Pain, which was, I don't know why. 3-up, 5-up, speed 8, so he's able to keep up with the Possessed. Add 1 to the advance and charge rolls, still really good. And then Possessed got nerfed. So, like, him and Possessed got nerfed. I was so excited to run 30 Possessed, 3 of these guys in the 1 detachment where it's -1 to wound. Like, that would have been insane to test out. Once per phase, when the model is selected to shoot or fight, you can stab your guy and then add 1 to the hit roll. So that stayed the same. Yeah, I mean, losing the 6-up Feel No Pain was kind of not really needed. You should have kept that. Massive Execution, everybody keeps talking about this guy. Let's see what the difference is. Devastating Wounds, Precision. He's got the get a CP still if he kills a character while leading. So he's one of the only ones you can add him to another unit, so you can have 2 leaders with a unit. While his model leading unit, each time model in the unit makes a melee attack below starting strength, you get to reroll the hit roll. If the unit below half strength, you get to reroll the wound roll as well. So situational, but at least if you just run in, shoot something, take it down 1 wound, and then he goes in and just all full rerolls to hit into that unit. All lethals. He's got a built-in precision, which is really good, and he gets an extra CP. So this guy, really cool. A lot of people have custom models, so it's going to be really cool to test this guy out. You got to be careful though, running this guy and a Lord in a unit. That's a really expensive unit, so make sure that you're getting your points back for adding this guy to the unit, whether it be a 10-man or a 5-man. If you add a 5-man chosen unit, it's 125 plus 80, that's 205, plus 90, that's 295, plus let's say you bring a rhino, like you're looking at 295 plus points for that unit that has to get the points back. So make sure that you're trading well if you're going to be bringing the Master of Execution. If he gets popped out of a rhino and then the unit dies, obviously you didn't trade well. So you have to make sure you get the charge off, get some kills off, get a CP, and make that trade worth it for adding this guy to the unit. Demon Princes. Demon Princes stayed the same. They get their marks still. Yeah, they get the cover and then they get reroll 1 of the wounds. So this guy stayed exactly the same. And then the flying one changed a little bit. So the flying one got, each time a model ends a normal move or advanced move, select 1 enemy unit and moved over and must take a battle shock test. This is pretty cool for Night Lords if you want to run a Demon Prince, except they're not as survivable as compared to the Zealots, getting the 5-up Feel No Pain, or having the Corn enhancement to just nuke whatever you touch. So I think the Zealots are going to be the best ones to run the Demon Princes, but in Night Lords, having the additional battle shock in just the movement phase is going to be worth it. They can't advance and charge in the Night Lords, so that's I don't like, you can't advance over somebody and then do it, but him coming down and then moving over somebody speed 12 and then having them take a battle shock test. If they fail, you can then shoot full rerolls, and then if you charge, you get +1 AP. So there's a lot of what ifs with this. The biggest thing you like is you roll d6 for the amount of wounds. So 10 wounds, you roll 10 dice on the charge. Anything on a 4+, they take a mortal wound. That is one of the best things we have in this codex, especially going into rhinos. So let's say the rhino that you try to blow up has 2 wounds left. You then just charge the Demon Prince into it. It does, let's say, 2 mortal wounds on the charge because of that ability, and then you just consolidate and fight whatever is left in the rhino. That is a really good tactic. We did that against Mike with our Night Lords list. It worked with our Raptors consolidating 6 inches to get into the unit that was inside, but I died anyways. It was a really cool tactic. Now, if you bring Slaanesh, you're speed 14, so you're moving even faster. Corn, you're getting strength 10 on your things. The one Raiders build has full rerolls to hit, wound, and I'm not sure if it's damage as well, but full rerolls to hit and wound within 12 inches of the deployment zone. So this guy is going to be able to get full rerolls to hit and wound the entire game until he dies. But this guy with full rerolls to hit and wound in the Raiders detachment, be able to advance and shoot, and then fall back. He can't fall back. He only falls back 6 inches because he's not mounted or the Raptor unit, I think. It's mounted and vehicle? No, mounted something else. Mounted, I think you get to move 12, up to 12. So he goes 6. Warpsmith, still really cool. I just put one together because of the Vashtorr build. So I'm going to have him with full rerolls within 3 inches of him. So he's going to be able to give all the vehicles full rerolls to hit and buff one up. And I brought this guy in our Cultist build. So the Cultist build I'm testing out is Lord of Skulls with this guy right next to him to get the Lord of Skulls +1 to hit. So the Lord of Skulls hitting on 2s. The Lord of Skulls is going to be the anti-vehicle in my list. And the Cultist build has, if the Lord of Skulls gets a shot that he doesn't want to take, like D6 damage, he can push it off onto a damned unit within 3 inches of him. I think it's 3 inches, and then that unit takes the mortal wounds based off the damage roll. So let's say it's a D6 shot. Well, you hit me, great, automatically wounds. I push it off onto the unit. They roll D6, 5 damage, 5 mortal wounds, 5 cultists die. But now that damage doesn't get onto the big guy. So it's really good if you want to just not take a bunch of last cannon shots or vindicator shots to the face. Yes, they're going to wipe out the entire unit if it's a vindicator, but still that vindicator didn't do any damage to your Lord of Skulls. So I think it's gonna be a good combo. I think it's gonna be fun to test out. I need a Lord of Skulls, so if anybody has one, let me know. But this guy is gonna be in a couple different lists, so he's cool, and he gets to heal him as well. He's got the lone up within 3 inches of him, so that's gonna be clutch. And at the start or at the end of the movement phase, select one enemy vehicle unit within 12 inches of the model. The model must take about nice. The end of your movement phase. That's cool. So basically, you just advance up and force a vehicle to take a battle shock. That could be good in Night Lords. But what the hell are you gonna bring in Night Lords with a vehicle? Dark Apostle, awesome leadership 5. Is competing against the Accursed Cultist, same with the Damned unit. So if you bring in triple Accursed Cultists in your Damned army, you're competing with this guy with the Accursed Cultist or the Dark Commune. So Dark Commune is going to get advance and charge, +1 to hit, +1 to wound, and a 5-up invuln save. Comparing that to just +1 to wound, it's tough because this guy's going to be able to wound more consistently, but he's not going to be able to survive as much as the Dark Commune given the 5-up invuln save. So it's a toss-up. Maybe having one of these guys just because of this thing, once per battle at the start of any phase, you can select a Heretic Starter's unit that was battle shocked. Now they're no longer battle shocked. So that could be good just to have around, so that let's say your Cursed Cultist does get battle shocked, you then just make them unbattle shocked, within 12 inches, and now they can do the 1 CP full rerolls to hit and wound. Like that could be clutch. He's 75 points, Dark Commune 65 points. So again, you're competing for that slot. Maybe having him in like a 10-man cultist blob. So Cursed Cultist chosen, cultist mob, legionnaire. So he can't join the other unit, these guys, the Trader Guardsmen, but you can just put him in a 20-man cultist blob and just have him be the 5-up. Yeah, I might try that. I might put a Dark Apostle just in a 20-man blob and see how that goes. This guy I would just skip. Like he's not worth the points at all. Only his freaking character model gets the 4-up Feel and Pain, and you get to fire Overwatch with 1 plasma, 1 sniper, and 1 flamer. Like it's so bad. Skip over that guy. Dark Commune, same thing. Everything else stayed exactly the same. +1 to hit, +1 to wound, advance and charge once per game, and a 5-up invuln save for everybody in the unit. And their leadership 6, so it's going to help out with your 3 Accursed Cultist units. Your Cursed Cultists now having leadership 6 for their Dark Pacts, so like they're able to move up 8 inches and then get +2 to the charge on a leadership 6 model is pretty consistent. Like you're not going to be killing your guys as much as them being by themselves. So, dude, I just love the cultist list that I've been running. Legionnaires stay the same. Reroll a wound roll of 1, and then if they're in range of objective marker, reroll everything in the melee. But the thing that changes, they can't join Abaddon. So they were only with Abaddon because of the icon and being able to reroll Abaddon's full wounds when he's charging into something. So he gave Abaddon a bunch more wounds to chew through, and being able to make a guy in the last edition. And the reroll Dark Pact and the forward. So that unit was really good with Abaddon. Now they're just action monkeys. They have 2 heavy weapons in a unit. They can have a heavy range weapon. So they're a good OC2 Legionnaire unit in Rhinos. Like they're really good for troop choices for 80 points. Really, really good. This guy is up in the air for me. I haven't seen him too much. They just released the points, so now we know he's 45 points. Ignores cover, torrent, d6 plus 3 on a flamer is pretty good. He can only join a cursed cultist and cultist mob. I wish they could have used him to join additional characters in the unit, because then you can have a cursed cultist, dark commune, and this guy in almost every list. But it's only him. So he's leadership 6, not bad. He gets to reroll the leadership tests as well. And then in the shooting phase, you have to take a battle shock test, range 12. So potentially I'm thinking in Night Lords, but again, not really. Like, he's maybe if I have 45 points, but then you think like, all right, I'm competing against a Nurgle unit as well. Nurgle units are 40 points. I'd rather have a Nurgle unit infiltrate, 4 wounds, like just be annoying than just have this one guy, which is a character as well. So it gives up pretty easy assassinate points. So he's still up in the air for me. Cultist mob, amazing. Should be in every single list. Still sticky objectives. They did get rid of all the weapons though. So Abaddon can't give full rerolls to hit with them anymore, so my list got thrown out the window. But they can't bring any heavy weapons. So if you have 20-man blobs in the cultist army, you're just shooting 12 inches. Like, they're literally just action monkeys, and they're just bogging down the table. That's really all they're doing in the rest of this edition, is making shit sticky and then just being annoying. Like, their weapons were really good. Having so many shots from their assault, the rapid fire gun, like, that was hilarious. Having like 14 shots from these 2 guys, full rerolls to hit, exploding and critting on 5s, like that was hilarious. But it's all gone now, so dream is averted. Traitor guardsmen, we got they're OC2, and now it makes them battle line if you're bringing the detachment. So the detachment with the cultists, these guys are now battle lines. You can have more than 3 of them. They're OC2, 10-man squads. I'm bringing on mine a flamer, a plasma gun, and a sniper. Just having a bunch of random snipers, potentially hitting them on a 4 precision could be fun to see if it does anything. And then the main dude has a power weapon and a pistol, just so you can do actions if needed. But they're speed 8 in that detachment. Again, OC2 is really what you're using them for, and they get cover if they're on objective. That's about it. 70 points, not too bad. These guys are just so bad. I tested these guys, and the first time I ran the Cursed Cultist, they were at 95 points when I was testing them. Now they're 85 points. They need to be basically 60 to 65 points, I think. Then I might be able to run them as just action monkeys, because they come in turn 1. Anything that can automatically come in turn 1 is good. 85 points though, that don't do anything, not good. So lower these guys by another 20 points and maybe we'll think about it. These guys are more than bikes. That's an issue. Like, they're not good, like, at all. They don't hit hard. They have AP 0. The corrupted staff is AP 1. They all hit on 4s. The fucking great weapon hits on 5s. Like, why? I don't know. Don't run them. Like, not even one of them I wouldn't run. You know what? One, if you have 85 points and you're like, you know what? I literally don't want anything else. I have everything I need. I'll run one of these guys. Or you can just run 2 Nurgle units for like 5 points cheaper. Yeah, that's sad. All right, then we got Terminator Squad. Everything's the same. Full rerolls if you do a Dark Pact. I think their points went down a little bit. But I mean, having that many heavy weapons and guns and copy weapons in a 5-man unit, really good. Having them with Sorcerer, really good. So if you love the Terminators, still really good. They're literally more than bikes, which is just sad. Bikes going down to 70 points is awesome, but them losing we'll get to them. We'll get to bikes. We're almost at bikes. Yeah, so Terminators, if you love Terminators, I know Patrick loves Terminators. We literally you could still run Terminators and be fine. Like, they're full rerolls. You don't need Abaddon, so you just bring a Sorcerer or a Lord. Full rerolls. They're gonna be good in the Iron Lord detachment. Like, it's gonna be good. I like how their models look, but their current rules and points can't invest exactly. Like, you don't want to. I was gonna buy 2 boxes of them, honestly, but after testing them out, they were basically stuck in combat with a vehicle for the entire game. Like, they didn't do anything, and the vehicle could still shoot out of combat. Chosen, still really good. even better now that you can join Abaddon. So think about Abaddon getting advance and charge for free. Being able to shoot as well, so you can do a dark pack now. Before, with the Legionnaires, you couldn't advance and shoot unless you spent a CP, which defeated the whole purpose. So he would advance up just to get in position, which then you wouldn't be able to do a dark pact. So now you can advance up, get line of sight of just one of your models, shoot dark pact, and then reroll the dark pact if needed because of the icon, and then get your CP on a 7+. So the Chosen makes it huge to run your Abaddon. Plus Abaddon going down some points is cool too. But yeah, Chosen are still really, really good in this edition. I think running a bunch of them with the Iron Warriors, having -1 to wound on Abaddon's squad with a 5-up invuln, say, or Feel No Pain, that's going to be some tricky shit going in. I think that's going to be deadly. So Land Raider, Abaddon, 10 Chosen, saying it now, go. Raiders. So these guys with Abaddon and Raiders, holy shit. Advancing out of a Rhino that just moved 18 inches the turn before. That should be pretty fun. Me and Mike are talking about that list, and I got to put it on the table. Mike, if you could put that on the table, that'd be great. Land Raider, Abaddon, 10 Chosen, advance up 18 inches turn 1, shoot still, because you're in Raiders, and then if they don't kill it, next turn you just advance out with Abaddon and Chosen and just murder whatever the hell you want. Nuts. Bikers. So Bikers, big thing changed with Bikers. Bikers were one of my favorite units in Chaos Space Marine. They were in every single list. If you didn't run the Bikers before, you weren't playing Chaos Space Marines. These guys were able to come off the table if you were wholly within 6 inches, and then go back into reserves, and then come back on anywhere on the table. Obviously wrap reserves rules, but come back on later in the game. So you can go off on turn 5 and come back on turn 5, or go off on turn 4, come back on turn 5. Not a lot of shit can do that. So now that's gone. So now they're more of a moving forward, being a quick unit to do turn 1 turn 1 actions. They get +1 strength on the charge, which is new. So melee attacks with this unit, charge move, improve the strength characteristic of 1. So being able to get +1 strength is pretty cool. Power Fist, the 4 attacks on their Cursed Chainswords, AP1s. AP2 if you're charging a unit on an objective with Raiders. Raiders are really good with bikes because they get to move, shoot at AP1, charge, AP1, advance and shoot, advance and charge, advance an extra 6 inches automatically with bikes, advance, shoot, charge, run away 12 inches. Like, bikes are going to be really good in the Raiders build. If you want to run 18 bikes, that could be a viable list. I think that'd actually be a really fun list. And you can still bring 2 heavy weapons with the Chaos Bikes. So if you put Abaddon 10 Chosen in a Land Raider, you lose the auras. Yes, for 1 turn. Then you download. You cannot choose 1 in the Land Raider, and thus none of the... so when he's in the Land Raider, you can't choose the aura in the command phase? Because I thought you could choose stuff when they're off the table now in 10th edition. So like in the command phase, you choose an aura, right? Or is it only in a vehicle he can't choose it? But yeah, that's true. He would lose that if you can't do it. But I thought that he still gets to choose his aura. He just doesn't get it because he's not on the table. But when he gets off the table, he has his aura. So somebody let me know that. Then we got Raptors. So Raptors are okay. I'm really trying to make them work in Night Lords. They get -1 to the battle shock test within 6 inches. In Deep Strikes, yes, he chooses. So in Deep Strike he chooses, but if he's in a Land Raider, he doesn't. Gotcha. So that sucks. In Raptors, we got the battle shock, so that's going to help out a lot in Night Lords. And then at the start of each fight phase, if you're in engagement range of 1 or more Raptor units, you get to do a battle shock test. So that is going to be also good in Night Lords. So I think Night Lords having 3 units of Raptors, like min unit, if you really want to, is going to be kind of needed to do their stick. And they could have 2 heavy weapons per 5. So if you have a 4-man unit in Night Lords, they can come down within 3 inches and just full rerolls hit and wound on a battle shock unit, unloading all the plasma, lethals or sustain, full rerolls. So basically you have a plasma pistol on the Lord, plasma pistol on the leader, and then 4 plasma guns. So it's 8, 9, 10 plasma shots, full rerolls to hit, lethals, and full rerolls to wound. So you're just going to murder an infantry unit off the table pretty easily. If you want to do 1 squad Melta, 1 squad Plasma, you could do that. If you want to do 1 10-man with 4 Meltas and 2 Plasma, 4 rerolls to hit and wound against vehicles. If that vehicle's battle shocked, so you have to make sure it's battle shocked. You get plus, 2 for the Melta shot coming down, so that could be something to try. There's a bunch of different stuff to try out with that unit. They are 170 points, so you have to make, they're cheap if you can kill a tank with it. So if you're going after a tank that's over 170 points, they come down with a 3 inches, 1 CP. The Lord, hopefully you can make a battle shock. Lord does the free wound, and then you can try and nuke that vehicle, or at least do a ton of damage, because the Lord can also throw a grenade. So you come down 1 CP, spend a CP for a grenade, and then do the free strat. So 2 CP, you can do a ton of damage coming down within 3 inches of something. You just have to combo it right. So combo where they're -2 to their battle shock test. You shoot the vehicle with noise marines, or run over it with a demon prince. What other thing can shoot? Like anything that could shoot and do a battle shock test is what you're really going for with that combo. Unless they were already battle shocked the turn before, which it's going to be hard. Warp Town, everybody's talking about, so Warp Town's gonna be able to get off the table if there's nobody within engagement range of them, which is just busted. Having 10-man units to make sure that you do kill whatever the hell you charge is going to be key in some detachments. The Raiders detachment again has another really good strat where they can fall back and then get off the table, because now they're not in combat anymore, but they were eligible to attack. So at the end of the fight phase, if this unit was eligible to fight, so basically you charge in, you do a ton of damage to a tank, tank doesn't kill you back, you're still in combat, spend 1 CP, leave combat, get off the table. Dumb awesome. In Raiders, they're AP3 as well, if you're shooting something or going after something on an objective. So these guys are just going to be insane. If you have 30 of these guys, let me know if you've been running that or trying it out. I am in the means of building 30 of these guys to test that out. So somebody let me know if they've already done it, so I don't have to build 30 of them. Spawn sucks. Feeling pain 5+, but OBSEC 0. I don't know why they made him OBSEC 0. He reduces the OBSEC of other stuff, excluding vehicles, by 1 within 3 inches. So it's even worse. That sucks. Havocs. I never liked Havocs. I wasn't a Havoc guy. Never actually ran them before. Tested them in my Night Lords build, and there's just so much. They have to be battle shocked to get the full rerolls to hit and wound. So if the unit that you're shooting at, the tank that you're shooting at, is not battle shocked, they're not really getting the best out of that. And then hitting on 3s with last cannons super far away, and also wounding on 3s on most of the time, or 4s if it's a tough vehicle. They're 120 points. They're cheap. Toughness 5. But you have to basically use them to your advantage. So if you bring them in Raiders, they're AP1. So bringing in, what is it called? The Havoc Chain Cannon. So it'd be 8, 16, 32 shots from the Chain Cannon. Getting out of a Rhino for the Raiders, they get full rerolls to hit and wound for 1 CP. So they're just unloading 32, sustain 1 shots, strength 5, AP 1 onto that unit and just mowing them down. So I think that could be really fun to test out. And obviously just having 4 last cannons getting out full rerolls to hit and wound from a vehicle that doesn't have to be freaking battle shots because you're running Raiders. Then ignore all hit and modifiers. So that's also a bonus to their profile. Then we got the Hellbrute. Hellbrute changed a little bit, so he gets extra attacks if he has 2 melee weapons. So most of the Hellbrutes we're going to be seeing are going to be melee Hellbrutes. If you bring the gun and melee, you're losing out on 2 of the attacks for the Scourge or the Fist or the Hammer. So I'm probably going to be bringing the Hammer and Fist. So the way the Fist can get 7 attacks, hitting on 3s, strength 12, AP2, 3 damage. So basically Terminator killers easily. And then the Hammer is great for vehicles or tank shocking. So you're getting 5 attacks, 7 attacks, hitting on 4s, strength 14, AP3, AP4 on objective, D6 plus 1 damage. So charging in, doing tank shock, rolling 16 dice, and then doing 7 attacks, AP4, D6 plus 1 damage. So pretty freaking good. And also he gives himself lethal and sustain. Yeah, so 130 points, well worth it in a lot of lists. So he's definitely an upgrade. He got a huge upgrade. Heldrake, I'm sorry. Wish he was cool. He's cool. He's one of the coolest models we have. But he's 205 points. Like, he's just so expensive. You can move 20 inches. He's gonna get shot out of the air. He's toughness 9, 12 wounds, 3 up, 5 up. Anti-fly, 2+ devastating wounds. So Vashtorr maybe getting a +1 to wound with his Baleflamer, and then +2 attacks with his charges, so he gets 7 attacks. I think you might be able to advance and charge in that detachment. Hitting on 3s, strength 7, AP 1, 2 damage. But I mean, again, he's okay. He's okay. It might be a list that is like super aggressive with him, but I'm probably not gonna be running him. Venom Crawler's got a lot of people running them now just because of the detachments. So they're 110 points. They're cheap, same as a Warp Talon unit. But they're 9 wounds, toughness 9, speed 12, 12 shots, strength 6 if they're with Vashtorr, they're strength 7, AP 1, 2 damage. So if they're with Vashtorr, they're strength 7, AP 1, full rerolls to hit, most likely, 2 damage. And then if they're with the Raider unit, they're AP 2 with their guns, shooting something on objective. So again, everything with the Raiders unit, you just have to add 1 AP, super good. And then in combat, they're going to be AP 2, 6 attacks if they kill a unit. Add 1 to the characteristic of those models. So it says at the end of the fight phase, in the book, in the Codex, it says at the end of the fight phase. On the app, it says at the end of any phase. So it's weird that the app is wrong with this. So we'll see what they fact it. Molephine. 130 points for Molephine. Vashtorr, insane. Speed 10. Can you advance and charge Vashtorr? You might be able to. But the magma cutters, right? They're +1 strength, and then they get +1 to wound. So strength 10 magma cutters within 6 inches of Vashtorr. AP 4, but +1 to wound. So you wouldn't go on any vehicle toughness 10 or less on a 3 or 2. And then toughness 11, 12 vehicles, you're winning on them 4s. So that is legit. And then you're getting rid of the lasher tendrils because you're getting the magma cutters instead. But you're doing fists at 8 attacks, hitting on 3s, strength 14, AP 2, D6 +1 damage. So they are going to kill vehicles pretty reliably. And you ignore any all modifiers to the advanced and charge rolls, which is great. The Forge Fiend stay the same. Devastating, hazardous. In the Vashtorr, they get +1 to wound, so maybe seeing 1 or 2 of these guys wounding vehicles on 3s or 2s, because now they're strength 11 ectoplasma cannons, so you're going to wound a lot of stuff a lot easier. And then the Rhinos. The Rhino are still really good. Just transporting all of our units across the table. Land Raider, you're going to see a lot more lists coming up, especially the Raiders list, being able to advance it and shoot it, and then you want to follow it up with a Tech Priest to give it +1 to hit. Yeah, just being able to move up and get out and then charge, still really good. So I think Land Raiders going to see in a bunch of lists. Annihilators, terrible. Don't use them anymore. And then the Predator Destructor in the Raider list, being able to advance and get AP 3 against infantry on objectives, that's just dumb. So all of the heavy bolters, combi bolters, all that stuff, AP 2, and then the heavy bolter, AP 3, and then the autocannon, AP 3 against infantry. So you're just murdering Terminators like easily, and any infantry 2 wounds or more are just going to die. So the heavy bolters are really good, and then the last cannons, if you need it for anti-vehicle, you can do that, but I'm probably going to be running the heavy bolters and the autocannon for the +1 AP, and then +2 if you're in the Raiders build. 130 points too, can't beat it. Vindicators, advance and shoot in combat, really fucking good. 175 points, they went down 15 points compared to 190 what they were before. So these guys are definitely good. I think running 2 of them, toughness 11 is rare. 11 wounds, so 2 up save. Yeah, running 2 of these guys enlist is just move blocking, turning diagonal so they can't move through you. It's just going to be super annoying to deal with. Defiler, gaining free counter charge is pretty good. 190 points, still pretty expensive for what he does. 14 wounds, toughness 10, speed 8, so you're able to move over other, I think it's vehicles, monsters, as if they were not there, and terrain that's 4 or less. So most things in the center of the ruins are 4 inches or less, so you can just move right over that. So if you're right against a wall and somebody charges somebody in front of you, you can counter charge over that and get into combat and just murder the crap out of them. So free counter charge is huge for the big ass vehicle, and it's got a bunch of guns. So I think this guy is going to be really good in Vashtorr's list, +1 to wound, and then all the extra attacks. You're getting 7 attacks for the claws. If you bring the Defiler Scourge, you get 5 attacks. So yeah, he's going to munch in the Vashtorr list, and +1 to wound. Full rerolls to hit. Lord of Skulls. I need one. I want to run one in 2 lists. The main one I'm going to run is the Cultist build. So the Cultist build, I went over it where they get to pass off the wounds onto the Cultist models. So him basically being in the center of 100 Cultists, like there's no way you're not going to be able to see the Cultists, because you have to be able to see the Cultists and the Lord of Skulls. So that way, if you put damage on the Lord of Skulls, it gets carried over to the Cultists. So that way they take the damage instead of him. So I can't wait to try this guy out. He's 450 points, expensive, but he's toughness 13, 24 wounds. You can heal him with the War Priest, hit on 2s, and he's going to be my anti-vehicle because it's range 18, but you speed 8, D6 blast, strength 14, AP 4, D6 +2, and then we got this one, which is the Skull Hurler, 2D6, strength 14, AP 3, 3 damage. So really good. And then if he kills something in combat, takes a battle shock test. Crown kind of sucks. I think I'm only going to be running him in the Vashtorr build. So the Vashtorr, he lets everybody go back down to a leadership 6. So Vashtorr increases the leadership to 7 when you're doing the dark packs. But if they're within 9 inches of the crown, which you can hide the crown pretty easily, right next to a building, because 10th edition doesn't have anything against the whatever they're called, the fortifications. So you can basically put it right next to a building on the other side, so it can't be shot because it still gets the cover. But within 9 inches, you get +1 to leadership. So could be good in the Cultist detachment, but you're not basically bringing anything to the Cultist detachment before a couple of the guys killing themselves. That's about it. So it could be good in the Cultist detachment, but I'd rather bring 20 more Cultists, 30 more Cultists, then bring this thing. This thing I think is going to be really good in the Vashtorr detachment, keeping everything within 9 inches, full rerolls to hit, or full rerolls to hit, and then only needing a 6 to get the Dark Pact. Curse Cultists, huge change. We already went over this in the last video, but Field of Pain still, but they got Scout move 6. 85 points for a minimum unit to Scout 6 is really good. They're just going to be annoying to deal with. Bringing 2 or 3 units of these guys, all scouting 6, just moving up, is going to be really good for secondaries, really good for fixed. In the 2 builds, you can bring scout move with these guys, so they can scout up 6 inches and then advance in charge with the Dark Commune. It's worded wrong, which they're going to fact it, hopefully, but you add enhancement onto a model, and then that model gains scout. But the Dark Commune's multiple models, so technically they can't get scout. It's dumb. Again, they're going to fact it, hopefully, and then it says specifically you can add it to a Dark Apostle model as well. But the Dark Apostle has 3 models in the unit, and only that one model has scout. It's dumb. Freaking Games Workshop worded it really weird. But we're playing locally that they are going to make it so that way if you add it to the Dark Commune, the whole Dark Commune has scout. So then you can add it to a Cursed Cultist. Now the whole unit has scout. So you scout move forward 6 inches. Now you're 18 inches away from your opponent. You can then advance and charge, but you get +2 to advance, +2 to charges in the Cultist build. So you're moving up 8 plus D6, so let's say you get a 4. So that's 12 inches forward. You already moved 6, so it's 18 inches. So now you're 6 inches away from your opponent if they started on the front lines. Plus you get +2 to charge, so you need 4. So you need like a 5 on the charge to get somebody turn 1 with this unit in the cultist unit or cultist list. That's going turn 1. And then if you're in the circle deployment with the quarters, you're even closer to your opponent. If you start on a corner and they're on a corner, you're only like 12 inches away. You basically scout move 6. You can advance, you know, right next to them and then charge and just tie up the entire army. So I can't wait to try that out. Kris Cultist, still really good. D6 plus 2 attack, strength 5, AP 1, 2 damage, plus 1 hit, plus 1 wound with the Dark Commune. Possessed, did us dirty. Only devastating wounds once per game now. I don't know why. Everything else is the same. So 4 attacks, hitting on 3, strength 5, AP 1, 2 damage. I'd rather bring these guys than these guys, but they could be undivided. So you get 4 rerolls to wound in the Zealots detachment. What else can give wounds for these guys? Not a lot, because Night Lords is only shooting and they don't have any shooting. So them coming out of a Land Raider maybe with Raiders. So them being in the Land Raider moves up. They get out 3. You charge something. 4 rerolls to hit and wound. Maybe, I don't know. Obliterators went from 24 inches to 18 inches, so they can't come out of deep strike anymore and just murder tanks. You can't even deep strike within 3 inches with Night Lords because it's only jetpack models, which also sucks. So these guys could spend 1 CP with Night Lords if somebody's battle shot to get 4 rolls to hit and wound. But most of the time, they're just going to be kind of rapid ingressing, moving up, and then shooting potentially, or just coming down and a ton of, you know, strength 8 AP 2 shots in Raiders. It's going to be really good. And they're only 2. You can only bring 2 into a unit instead of 4 now. So a bunch of different changes to these guys. We have to test them out to see if they're worth 170 points. It went down 10 points. So we have to see if they're worth 170 points or not. But I'm going to test out 2 units in my Night Lords list. And that's it. So that's all of the detachments and models we have that we went over. So what are you guys running? Like, let me know in the comments what you're super excited about. We went over a bunch of the detachments in the first video. If you haven't checked that out, go check that out. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe, do all the YouTube shit. We're super close to 10,000 subscribers. We have a Patreon if you guys want to get in the competitive scene. You can join the competitive dirtbags, where you have basically a professional coach in your corner to answer questions, comments, go over list ideas, tactics. If you're a Grandmaster dirtbag, you guys get to see me play your list that you want seen play live in a battle report, and you also get to send me pictures of your battle reports so we can go over it one-on-one on Discord. That's a Grandmaster dirtbag. It's really like visibly helpful when you take pictures as a Grandmaster dirtbag, so I can see what you're doing, what you need to prove, and then kind of where your positioning is, because a lot of this game is positioning. So especially with deployment, if you can't deploy correctly, that is going to be the first step to start winning a lot of games in 40k, is really deployment and turn 1 secondaries. So if you guys are interested in that, head over to the Patreon page. If you want a lot of these videos ahead of time where you can't get them on YouTube, you get them on Patreon first. That's as well. We have widgets which are legit, so the widgets are super bright, you can't lose them. Those are being sold on Discord. Dice, stickers, and some proxy models. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you liked, didn't like, how we can improve on the channel. A shit ton of stuff is coming up in 2024 for the Dirtbag Nation. Mike is working on shirts, jerseys, hats, so they are coming, trust me. And I'm super excited to bring some chaos to you, because we have our main Mike playing chaos all the time. So he's going to be doing a lot of battle reports for us as well. So guys, appreciate it. Good luck. Thanks for watching the live stream, and we'll see you in another video soon.